Hello, welcome to your practice today. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry I was not able to get you a practice last week, but I'm happy to be back with you today for a 30-minute practice. If you'd like to follow along, the music is in the notes so you can find the playlist there. So as you settle in, you can find your seat, you can allow the eyes to close, or you can allow the gaze to soften. And maybe letting the hands connect, finding a prayer in front of the heart. And just noticing right away as you breathe, any places that are feeling stuck, any places that are feeling a little bit labored in your breathing today. I'm trying to smooth out the breath. So there's a sense of evenness in the inhale and the exhale. So we've all had to give things up in the past year. You know, whatever that was, whether it was a vacation, whether it was seeing family or friends, whether it was something having to do with work, making a new step in your job or your career. We've all had to give things up as we deal with the realities of the world around us. And there's a line in the Upanishads. It says, "When all the desires that surge in the heart are renounced, the mortal becomes immortal. When all the knots that strangle the heart are loosened, the mortal becomes immortal here in this very life." So noticing in this moment those kind of knots in the heart, those things that we are holding on to, that we don't want to let go of. And seeing if we can use this practice physically to open up that space, to kind of loosen those knots, to start to release. And we'll begin our practice with Om, inhaling. With a breath in, the eyes can gently float open if they're closed. And we'll meet sitting on our heels. So, if it feels comfortable to sit on the heels like this, go for it. If it feels better to take a prop, maybe you could take that prop in between the heels. Just so your sitting bones are resting either on the heels or on a prop. The hands can find the thighs. And bringing your attention to your sitting bones, we'll gently tip toward the fronts of the sitting bones, feeling that tilt of the pelvis, and then sliding back onto the back of the sitting bones. We'll do that a few more times, tilting toward the fronts of the sitting bones, noticing what that does in the ribs and the chest. And tipping onto the back of the sitting bones, noticing if that separates the shoulder blades at all. Again, like this, tipping toward the fronts of the sitting bones and tipping toward the backs of the sitting bones. And bringing yourself neutral on your sitting bones, weight even between front and back, right and left. The hands can connect at the heart, and we'll interlace the fingers, pressing into the knees, sending the heels of the hands up to the sky, reaching up through the heels of the hands, down through the knees. One more big breath in here. With an exhale, opening the arms, and we twist to the right, sending right arm back, left arm forward, and we'll sit back down either on the prop or on the heels. Big breath in here. With an exhale, right fingers touch down behind us, and we sweep the hips up, left arm reaching back, inhaling. Exhale, letting the hips come back down, walking the left hand to the top of the mat. So you're on two knees in one hand. Right arm to the sky, breathing in. With an exhale, the right arm slides under the left arm, finding a twist. Breathing in and breathing out. Pressing into the left hand, unraveling, right arm to the sky. That right foot steps all the way to the back of the mat. You can swivel around on the left knee. For a supported side plank, maybe taking the eyes up toward the right fingertips. On a breath in, we rise up onto that left knee, arms to the sky. And with an exhale, the right arm slides down the right leg, opening the left side of the ribs. I'll turn and face you so you can see what we're doing. One more big breath here. On an inhale, we rise up. That left arm, eagle wraps under the right arm. Take a breath to find some lift through the fingertips, lift through the elbows, and with an exhale, drawing the elbows in toward the navel. Breathing in, rising back up, both arms to the sky. And we circle the hands to the top of the mat, stepping back, downward facing dog. Exhaling. Take a big breath in, shift around, tread the heels if it feels good. And on an exhale, we find some stillness in our downward facing dog. Rooting into the base of the index finger, widening the shoulder blades. On a breath in, it's a plank pose, rolling out, shoulders over the wrists. Child's pose, melting back, hips to the heels. Exhaling. We'll roll up to sit on the heels. Again, if it feels good to have a block under the hips, feel free. Taking the hands to a prayer, and we interlace other thumb on top, rooting down into the shins, sweeping the heels of the hands to the sky. Big inhale. On an exhale, we peel open, left arm back, right arm forward as the hips find the heels. Opening through the heart and all the way out through the fingertips. On an exhale, left fingers touch down. Breathing in, right arm up and back, opening through the front of the body. Exhale, hips to the heels, walking the right hand to the top of the mat. Left arm high, breathing in. Exhaling, left arm under the right for a twist. Inhaling. Exhaling. Pressing into the right hand, sending the left arm back up to the sky. We stay here and send the left foot to the back of the mat, rooting into the left pinky toe to find our supported side plank. On a breath in, both arms sweeping high, rising up onto that right knee, and with an exhale, tilting up and over toward the back of the mat for our gate pose. With an inhale, we rise, and the right elbow windmills under the left elbow for an eagle shape. Breathing in, feeling the elbows and the fingertips getting light. On an exhale, elbows toward the belly, rounding the spine. Rolling up, arms to the sky, breath in. Hands to the top of the mat, hands and knees, exhaling. Tucking the toes on a breath in, downward facing dog, breath out. Inhaling, plank pose, rolling out long. This time, knees to the mat, toes release, and we send the heart forward, bending the elbows all the way to the earth. Baby cobra, heart forward, inhaling. And traveling back, downward facing dog, exhaling. Big breath in here. With an exhale, letting the knees soften, we take our time to walk to the top of the mat. Heavy head, heavy arms, breathing in. And with an exhale, softening the knees, we roll up to stand. Arms reaching high for a prayer on a breath in. On an exhale, softening the knees, right elbow threads under the left for an eagle shape. Light through the fingertips, light through the elbows, finding a gentle lift of the heart. And with an exhale, diver's pose, arms wing back, lifting up onto the tippy toes. Rooting down through the balls of the big toes. One more breath in here with an exhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Hips back, arms floating. Big breath in here with an exhale, we fold over the legs. Right foot steps back to a lunge, inhaling. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Plank pose, breathing in. Straight legs or bent legs, lowering to the earth, exhale. Cobra, heart forward, breath in. Downward facing dog, breath out. Right foot rises, inhaling. Foot steps softly between the hands, exhaling. Left foot forward, long spine. Releasing heavy head, exhale. Arms find the sky, breath in, hands through the heart. We'll find Tadasana, exhaling. Arms reaching high, Urdhva Hastasana, left elbow, eagle wraps under the right elbow. Gentle lift of the front of the body, thighs reaching forward. Winging the arms back, diver's pose, breath out. Softening the knees for our chair, hips back, heart floats. Exhale, diving over the legs, forward fold. Left foot stepping back, breathing in. And it's downward facing dog, breathing out. Rolling out to a plank, inhaling. Again, straighter bent legs, lowering to the earth. Chest forward and up, shoulder blades away from the ears. Downward facing dog, exhaling. Left foot back and up, breathing in. Foot between the hands, breathing out. Right foot forward, long spine. Exhale, release. Arms stretching high, breathing in. Hands through the heart, Tadasana, mountain pose. This time, arms reaching high, breathing in. With an exhale, we dive all the way over, Uttanasana. Lengthening the spine, breath in. Softening the knees, planting the palms. We'll step back to a plank pose, lowering to Chaturanga or to the mat. Heart rises, breathing in. Downward facing dog, breathing out. Big inhale. Big exhale. Inhaling, right foot back and up. Footsteps forward between the hands. We spin the back heel down. Virabhadrasana 1. Arms floating to the sky. On an exhale, the right elbow slides under the left, finding that eagle wrap. Gentle lift of the elbows, the fingers, the chest on an inhale. With an exhale, let the arms release. Wing them back and let the heart reach forward. The left arm reaches forward. It brings you up and around, shifting into warrior 2. Feeling the left outer hip moving toward the midline. Feeling the right ribs shifting toward the center. On a breath in, stretching the right leg, turning the toes parallel. Spin the heels in, toes out, right elbow under the left, eagle arms. Breath in. With an exhale, we sink the hips really low. Parallel the feet, stretch the legs, flat back, arms reaching wide. With an exhale, let the hands melt to the earth for straddle forward fold. Rising up onto the fingertips, lengthening the spine, we walk the hands over to the left ankle. That right arm can reach long as the right knee bends over the right toes, getting a long reach through the right side of the body. Spinning to the back of your mat, we'll find a side angle. Left knee bends. Left elbow finds the thigh, and the right arm reaches long over the ear. Big spiral up of the heart. On an exhale, hands come down, framing the left foot. We step back, we have a plank facing the back of the mat. Exhale, chaturanga or to the earth. Heart forward and up, breath in. Down dog, breathing out. Left foot rises, inhaling. Stepping forward, exhaling. Back heel down, we find our warrior 1, sweeping the arms high. On an exhale, left elbow under the right, finding that Garudasana wrap. Fingers light, elbows light, tailbone descending. Let the arms wing back, folding forward. Exhale. Right arm sweeps forward. It lifts you up and around, shifting into warrior two. Right outer hip moving toward the midline. Left ribs moving toward the midline. Stretching the left leg, paralleling the toes. Spin heels in, toes out. Left elbow wraps under the right. Breath in for length. Breath out, widening through the knees. Turning the legs parallel, stretching the arms long. And we fold forward, hands to the earth. Rising up onto the fingertips, lengthening the spine. Walking the hands over to the right ankle, maybe sending that left arm long as we bend the left knee over the toes. Keep spinning to the top of your mat. Right toes facing forward, and we find right elbow to right thigh, left arm reaching long for side angle. Left pinky toe rooting into the mat. One more breath in. Bringing the hands down to frame the right foot, stepping it back through plank, through chaturanga. Rising, inhale, down dog. Exhaling. Big breath in. Big breath out. Inhaling, right foot high. Stepping that foot forward. This time the left heel stays lifted. Arms reach to the sky for a high lunge. With an exhale, this time left elbow slides under the right. Softening that back knee. Finding a gentle tilt up of the heart. With an exhale, releasing the arms, and we shift into warrior three. Sending the left heel back. Sending the crown of the head forward. With a breath in, knee to the chest, arms to the sky, rising up. And we shift into our eagle pose, Garudasana. Left thigh over, maybe toes hook. Left elbow slides under the right elbow again. And then we send those hips down and back. Heart forward and up. One more big breath here. Loosening the shape, unraveling, stepping the left foot back slightly. Let the arms reach wide, peeling open through the front of the body. Exhale, hands behind the back, either finding a reverse prayer or finding opposite elbows. Big breath in, sending the hip creases back, armpits forward. Those 2 points, the hip creases and the armpits, reaching away from each other as we fold into pyramid pose. Rooting into the bases of each big toe. With a breath in, we find some length, sending the crown of the head forward. Exhale, left fingers find the floor, or you can take a prop under the hand, sweeping the right arm up to the sky. Rotated triangle pose. Again, the crown of the head, the armpits reaching toward the front of your space. The hip creases and the sitting bones reaching backward. Keep that extension through the arms, bending the right knee and sliding the left foot back. Left hand down, finding our low lunge twist. With an exhale, right hand down, sliding the left knee in behind the right ankle and allowing the hips to soften to the floor. Arms high, breathing in. Exhale, right fingers to the mat, left elbow touches down, and we spiral back over the right shoulder. With the next exhale, releasing hands to the left, soft fold. Rolling up to sit, stepping the feet onto the floor. We'll draw the shins up and in, balancing on those sitting bones. And on a breath in, we send the feet forward, arms back, extending into a big V shape. On an exhale, draw it in, finding the shins, lifting the heart. One more time, creating that big V, reaching in two opposite directions. And then drawing it in, heels to the hips. Let the ankles cross or the legs can swing around. Touching the hands down, we step back to a downward facing dog. If you'd like to move through a vinyasa, feel free. Inhaling, left leg floats. Stepping the foot forward. Staying on the back toes, arms to the sky for our high lunge. This time, right elbow slides under the left, eagle wrapping. Breathing in front of the body gets a little bit lighter. Softening the back knee, shifting the weight forward. Let the arms wing backward as we shift into Virabhadrasana 3. Warrior 3 pose. Knee to the chest, arms to the sky, rising up. And we cross the right thigh over, right elbow under. Eagle pose. Heavy through the hips, light through the fingertips, open through the face, even through the breath. Loosen everything up, unravel, stepping the right foot back, letting the arms expand. Exhale, hands behind the back, either reverse prayer or opposite elbows. Inhaling for length, hinging at the hips with that exhale. Lengthening, 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 and letting the upper body release. Pressing into the 2 feet, extending the spine, reaching the crown of the head forward. Right fingertips touch down, left arm peels open to the sky for a rotated triangle. Heart lifting up toward the left fingertips. Keeping the arms as they are, left knee bends, right foot slides all the way back. Finding ourselves in our low lunge twist. Breathing in. Exhaling, left hand comes down. We slide the right knee in behind the left ankle and allow the hips to soften to the earth. Arms high, breathing in. Exhale, twisting over the left shoulder. On a breath out, gently releasing, hands over to the right, soft fold. Rolling up to sit, we'll step the feet down in front of us, hands down behind us. Big breath in, and with an exhale, sweeping the hips to the sky for an altar pose. Big inhale here. Exhale, softening the hips to the earth. Feet touch down. Arms can either reach long or we can hold under our thighs for more support. Breath in here with an exhale. Tailbone slides underneath us as we C-curve that low back. Rolling all the way down. Take a big stretch. Arms reaching back. Heels stretching forward. And with an exhale, stepping the feet onto the mat, we'll take our time to hug the knees in toward the chest. On a breath in, both legs sweep up to the sky. And we'll find our eagle shape, crossing the right thigh over the left. We won't hook the toes though. With an exhale, let both knees bend. So the left knee is hooking into the back of that right knee pit. Reaching up, we can either find the tops of the shins or the ankles or the feet with the two hands, allowing the head to relax down. Maybe you want to take a prop under the head as a little pillow, giving yourself a little bit more space. Feel those feet reaching away from each other and slightly downward. And notice if the right foot and the left foot can be on the same level. So one isn't higher, one isn't lower. Gently releasing, unraveling, legs back up to the sky, give them a little shake out. And we'll move to the opposite side. Left knee crosses over the right knee. Bending the knees and reaching up to grab the shins, the ankles, the feet, wherever you can reach. And then drawing the feet away from each other and slightly down towards the outer hips. And allowing those feet to be again on the same level. Gently unraveling. Legs back up to the sky, shake it out. And we bring the soles of the feet to touch. Reaching up to find the ankles, the shins, or maybe the outsides of the pinky toes. Heels coming in toward the pelvis. Knees moving in two opposite directions. So it's a reclined variation of our Baddha Konasana. One more big breath here. Gently releasing the feet. We'll draw the knees in toward the nose, giving them a nice big squeeze, hugging in. Big inhale here. And with an exhale, we release to Savasana. Finding a few deep breaths here, allowing the shoulder blades to melt into the earth behind you. The muscles around the bum and the hips and the thighs to melt off of the bone. The breath can start to deepen. The fingers and the toes can find a little bit of movement. And as you're ready, allowing the knees to bend, stepping the feet onto the mat. And we roll softly over onto the right side. Coming up to sit. Maybe allowing the hands to find a prayer in front of the heart. You are a truth seeker. Hold compassion for for the truths that you behold. Do not use them as knives to cut another or yourself with harshness, but as the clear insight that allows one to loosen the knots that bind, simply by knowing which thread to gently tug. From Alana Fairchild. The hands can meet at the heart if they're not already there. And we'll seal our practice with Om, breathing in. Om. Thank you so much for your practice today. Namaste.